Over the years, things evolved for the better. The Call of Duty franchise has some great ups and downs in recent times, but one thing that has never failed is delivers with the Modern Warfare name on them. This time, we have to revive the delivery of this 2022 that promised to be one of the best. It should be noted that this review and video review progress since campaign came out a week before the official launch, so all of my experience is one of the many modes that I will be released later this month. So as a fan of the first-person shooter games, I was really excited to wait for the Modern Warfare new part. But out of everything, we have to be honest that Modern Warfare 2019 left us with an excellent taste in the mouth of every fucking way. So much so that together with Warzone, it's one of the Activision greatest success for a long time. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 has a great challenge ahead, as many of the fans like me, expecting something better than the previous one, and this is the first things get really intense. In general, throughout the campaign we see the conflicts, new characters, and above all the incredible performance. One of the big things that the game boasts, its scripts, its narrative, and of course the participation. Both cinematically and in the gameplay of these actors are participate in the game. Modern Warfare 2 is an immersive game, not only because of the hype, but throughout the missions you have to really pay attention to what you are doing and not just advance shot and think to the other mission. Some features were added so that we can interact with create conversation in a few moments. The interesting thing is that some of these questions I ask myself in my head of truth. You think it's going to be predictable? It's quite the opposite. Its creators focused on giving us so much content, so many characters in a few long hours of play that really none of them are surprising, other of the cores are hated on and so on. Captain Price and his team on the other hand, in which case two teams on the different sides. We can also see a close relationship between the Ghost and the Soap. This does not have any spoilers because we haven't seen it in the trailers and it's something canon of saga of the Modern Warfare. Let's remember that this is first soft reset, so some things remain. The origin of some characters changed, but it is still exploiting in many ways. Each of the missions and its sense, when you think you are going to do some things, everything changes, but something repeats itself, and in the style of the Call of Duty. It cannot be put aside that the Tanks franchise remains more of the same in its core. We have an operator, or the one who touch us, a blood screen every time, and a shot, and the things do you up to your own style. It's not that bad because in reality user pays for the game for that, to be the protagonist and save the war, but it still can be something characteristic without being renovated, and in the game, in the long run, this can be a bit boring in this moment. However, sometimes that this is new game does boast is quite interesting graphical to analyze. I will explain myself well in the following paragraph. So, Modern Warfare 2 does not have better visual graphics than Modern Warfare 2019 in general. Its detailed environment style is much better, the proximity of the weapons has that brightness that we don't always see. However, the animations of some characters from a distance can feel different. The game has a new graphic engine, which can be blamed on a little on that, but it's still a realistic and its predecessor. Overall, the mix between the cinematics and the gameplay are incredible. I did not feel such a huge drop, but at the same time you can see how in some cases realism has an effect. When we took to decide, it can be blurred for the several milliseconds when everything finally comes into the focus. It has a certain sense of realism since we human beings do not have everything around us in detail. We know that something is there, but until we focus there is nothing detailed. For the experts in the area, if you had motion blur off and so rendering scale, say AMD, FSR or DLSS. If we talk about a bit of graphics, the game has exceptional performance. The screenshots you see in this post are straight from the PC, and I was able to run on ultra graphics, was able to hit average from 85 to 90 first person, okay, come on, FPS on average. But like, despite all the movement, the characters that feel very realistic and the recoil of the weapons, I feel the game has evolved. The AI is quite intelligent, and we must be honest, it is something to evolve since they are our comrades in arms throughout the game. So their movement and support this game is very vital. That an IA is giving me orders to shoot something and precise moment takes my alter ego fall on the ground. But remember that this game we cannot do what we please, since everything is a part of the Hollywood movie. And it's time for the multiplayer. The multiplayer mode has been unlocked for everyone, and although everyone at the time of writing this video and saying this review has tried it, it's always good to give our point of view on this subject. The real reason for the existence of the Call of Duty is for the multiplayer, and this time its creators have opted for the new experience that the community promised not to forget. I have to be honest, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 has a big gap to fill. With the acclaimed version of 2019, many of us are left in limbo waiting for the multiplayer that will make us return. As I had commented in the previous paragraphs and mentioned before, this Call of Duty offers a huge investment but is very focused on the realism and recoil of weapons and the movement. We cannot left aside the cooperative mode that promises a slightly different entertainment with the great challenges ahead. I recommend playing this mode with a friends, programming yourself and trying to complete it. Not only because on reward that it offers, but also because it has the essence that the campaign mode offered us individually. But this time we must have that online partner who always accompany us in the multiplayer games. The cooperative mode is challenging but at the same time fun to complete. First of all, the mod got a lot of attention during to the beta version was improved. Being able to play Call of Duty in the third person is a pure rare, and although for many this is strange flavor to try. Let me tell you what that feels like, little more like Ubisoft The Division. Only that, as always, on occasion we are running for everything as usual. Do you feel that taste of shit? Sorry for that. Playing in the perspective gives us a huge visual advantage as we can see our enemies over the shoulders, and obviously takes a bit of the immersion that this franchise had offered for the years. This mod is not bad, only it could be taken as a slight break from the frenetic movement and use this mode to change the monotony for a bit, which I really believe was what creators was looking for. I hope so. So the game has enormous stability, and since its video is done on the PC, we're going to talk a little about technical section of the graphics has been greatly improved. Something that caught my attention is the possibility of being able to do benchmark of 1 minute game in which PC is going to simulate, to know how many FPS we are going to obtain and what kinds of improvements we need. It's worth mentioning that the game makes us DLSS, AMD FSR, Intel XeSS technologies, and even the same fidelity KIs that is on the consoles. All this in order to give us the highest refresh rate on monitors, to take advantage of as well as help our system not to drown. Below we see results of different benchmarks, and you know, let's skip it. I don't only want to put it on my video the benchmark because nobody gives a fuck about that. So let's get straight into the summary. The Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is an exceptional game, a worthy successor to its previous versions. It boasts some great graphics in addition to the realism many fans are seeking. It remains the same seen in the franchise over the years, but with refined features, all add game modes and the content. This is yet to become promises to give us a long but entertaining hours of play. So, if you are a fan of the first-person shooter and of course of the Call of Duty, you will anyway buy it. You as just like a FIFA player, you will buy this game every year when it goes. Anyway, I enjoyed my time in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Will I play more? Probably, because you know, it's like the multiplayer is pretty good. It's still old Call of Duty, old but gold, you know. But anyways, thanks you for watching. Thank you for your attention. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and